Hi everyone, it's Donna, Doodlebug Stitcher. Welcome to my channel. For all my new subscribers, thanks for joining us. For everyone that has subscribed in the last week, thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah, mwah. I love the feedback and the positiveness that all the comments and everything that I've gotten, so thank you so much. It is the 7th of May, Monday, which means that we're 7 days into Maynia. So I've been stitching feverishly this week. It's been a little hectic. My mom had total knee replacement surgery Friday, so between Friday and yesterday, I didn't get very much stitching done. She's home from the hospital now, but I needed to stay with her because she's still having some difficulties getting around. She's supposed to start her therapy this week, so yay mom. If you want to send messages or just say, you know, some prayers for mom. She had back surgery last year and now this knee replacement surgery, so hopefully with this she's going to be pain-free, I'm hoping. So she starts her therapy today, so I'm keeping fingers crossed for that. First thing I want to do is give shout outs. So firstly, I want to shout out Jordan and Jamie from Basic Stitchers here on YouTube. Hi guys. If you don't already subscribe to their channel, go to their channel now and subscribe. Those ladies are great. And they're giving me so many ideas of new projects that I want to do. So I make sure that I have my reminders on, and so I get notifications every time they post a video. So go and subscribe and watch their channel. Secondly, Priscilla and Chelsea, the real Housewives of Cross Stitch. Hey girls! I can't say enough about these ladies. They're the ones that kind of prodded and really put the bug in me to start Flosstube. So I want to thank you very, very much. I continue to watch you and be awe-inspired, especially Priscilla, your finishes. I can't even imagine being that creative. So thank you for inspiring me, and I'm hoping that I can achieve at least a tiny little ounce of what you guys do. So thank you so much. Again, if you don't subscribe, and why don't you? Get over there right now. Go subscribe. They're awesome. You need to watch. And then lastly, there's a new Flosstuber that's out there, Katie and Dori from Hobbies up to here. I'm going to link them below. Super, super fun ladies, mother and daughter. Katie reminds me of like me. I don't know else how to explain it. She just, her personality is like awesome, and so I look forward to, they have their second video up now. I look forward to watching all their stuff. So again, if you don't already subscribe to them or you don't know about them, click that link below. Go over to their channel, watch their videos. They are absolutely great, and they just don't do cross stitch. They do so many other hobbies, hence the name Hobbies Up to Here. So go and watch all those channels, give them all some love, and tell them I sent you. So the first thing I want to do is show you guys some previous finishes. These are not recent finishes. As you know, if you watched my other videos, I have been stitching since almost birth. No, really. I have been stitching since 10 years old. My grandmother taught me how to stitch on plastic canvas. So I stitched little things like tissue boxes and Christmas ornaments with yarn and plastic canvas, and that really taught me, you know, the basics. And then I graduated up to Ada, and then I graduated up to more complex fabrics like even weave and linen. I primarily right now stitch on either even weave or linen. So I very rarely stitch on Ada, but one of the projects I'm going to show you is one that I did stitch on Ada years and years ago. Now my height of my cross stitch, which are like a lot of my prior finishes, were done back in the 90s and early 2000s. I gave up cross stitching at a time where I was doing other crafts, quilting and knitting, so I didn't really have the time. And then I had my daughter in 2011, and I didn't have time for anything, so I wasn't really doing any type of handcrafting at all. And then when I got my cancer diagnosis last year, I needed something that could occupy my time and kind of like shut my brain off from everything that was going on, because it was a little overwhelming, as you can quite imagine. So I picked my cross stitch up, and I realized how much I loved it and how much I missed it, and so I really have gotten back into it now. So the finishes I'm going to show you are old. In some cases, the designers of the patterns don't exist anymore. They're not designing anymore, and you can't really find their product in market. So unless it's like secondary, like, you know, Etsy or, you know, resale, or even on eBay. So if you see something, I encourage you to go out and search for it. But I'm kind of sad that some of these aren't around anymore, because they were at the time some of my favorites to stitch on. So the first one I'm going to show you is a complete finish. I mean, complete, like framed and everything. And this currently sits in my daughter's room on one of her bookshelves. And it is a heart and hand pattern called Seashore. And I had it framed by my local needlework shop here called the Strawberry Sampler. They're up in Chadsford, Pennsylvania. And I'll pull that really close there so you can see it. And I stitched it, I can't remember if I changed the colors or not against the pattern. I might have, but I did change the button. I found this sand dollar button, and it was just perfect. The button that it calls for is like a very cute, just another button company button. But I thought this one was really cute, and it looks, you know, very accurately like a sand dollar. So this originally sat when I worked in an office, and, you know, before child. This sat on my desk, and so I looked at it every day, and people would come up, "Oh, that's so cute, where did you get it?" And then when I would say that I made it, they were like, "You made it? What? You actually did that?" And I'm like, "Yes, I did." So that is, I'm very proud of this one, and my daughter loves it. And when I took it down, she was like, "Mommy, where's my picture? Why do you have my picture?" So she just thinks this is hers now. So that is by Heart and Hand. Again, Seashore. And Seashore is still available, so I'll link it down below. So if you wanted to get it, I think Hoffman is a distributor, so you could ask your local needle shop to get it for you. This next one is one that I need to send off for finishing. I might be sending this to Vanna. I'm not sure. I'm looking into it right now. Fingers crossed for me. So this is a Shepherd's Bush Needleroll, and this is the Americana Needleroll. And I stitched this many, many moons ago. But it's so pretty, and it's so detailed. And Shepherd's Bush is one of those ones where they try to incorporate specialty stitches into their pieces every year. So I don't know if you can see, but there's like specialty stitches. Here, this line, the blue and white line there, is a specialty stitch. And then they have some lace, and they have lots of beadwork, and then the flag. And then I made some modifications, because I don't make these into needle rolls, because honestly they would be on the floor or dirty, and somebody would step on them, who knows. But I'm wanting to finish this either as a flat fold, or possibly like a cube of some sort. So I need to take a picture of this and send it to Vanna and see what she can come up with, because I don't have the ability to do that right now. So that is one that I'm hoping to do. This is another Heart and Hand, and this, unfortunately, this pattern I think is no longer available. I think it's considered vintage because I did a thorough search online and couldn't find anything about it on their website. So this is called Strawberry Song, and it's called, if you can see it, it says Sing a Song of Strawberries, which I thought was really cute for summertime. We're getting ready in June to go strawberry picking at our local orchard. So I need to get this like finished. I think I'm gonna have this made into a cube so I can like set it on the bookshelf or on one of my tables or something like that. And then my last finish, this is sad because in the time I took a break from stitching, this cross stitch designer stopped designing, and unfortunately they're not doing anything. So I need to find out, because they actually are they are the owners of my local needlework shop, but they just aren't designing anymore. And I need to find out if I can. I used to own a lot of these patterns, and then we had some issues where some of my stash got water damaged, and so I lost a lot of my paper charts because they were just they were bad. And so I don't have the charts anymore, so I need to find out from them if they can get me the charts, or if I can maybe buy them for an arm and a leg, because I would really like this. But this was one that they did. X Appeal is the name of the designers. They also did these really nice specialty wood frames, very primitive and whimsical, called Molly Made frames. So you probably, if you've been stitching for a while, you probably remember hearing about them. And I have a couple of finished pieces, or I have a finished piece that I own myself for a Christmas design that's in a Molly Made frame, and then various family members, because one year I did cross stitch patterns from X Appeal and did them all in Molly Made frames and gave them as Christmas gifts. And so various members of my family have those, so I'll have to borrow them back and show you. But this one was from the Songs of the Season pattern. So they did 2 charts that had 2 patterns each. So this one was the spring and summer pattern, and the one I'm going to show you is the summer. And this was stitched on Ada, so that tells you how long ago I stitched it, because I haven't stitched on Ada since the 90s. So this is really cute. Lazy, Hazy, Crazy Days of Summer. Really, really cute. So that I have to figure out how to finish, maybe a flat fold or something like that. So those are some of my vintage completed stitches. And then next on the list is to show you what I completed this week for Maynia. So the first step was day 1. I decided to work on my Main Street series from Country Cottage Needleworks. So I continued working on the flower shop, and I can't tell which way I'm working here. There we go. So you can see that flower shop there. I filled in the top, put the windows in, and did the top border. So now I've got to still do the roof, do the hanging sign, the clouds, and put the name of the shop in. And then I'll have one more left to do, which is the dress shop. And that should hopefully be here in the next week, or in this week that we're in now, because it's on its way to me. So I'll be able to show you that next week as part of the haul. So next up was the Lizzie Kate A Little Bee kits, and this is a kit that comes with the fabric and the embellishment, and all you have to do is add the floss. So I went ahead and did this in DMC as it calls for, and this stitched up so fast. Look how much I got done on it. Can you believe? I'll get it a little closer so you can see there. So much fun to stitch. So I have a little bit, I have to like fill in the flower centers. do the door of the bee keep, and then I have some more work here on the bottom to do. And then, so this is definitely something I'll be able to finish when I hit this again later in the month. I should be able to call this a May finish, so that'll be awesome. And then I worked on the 3rd on one of the Twisted Threads charts. I'm doing a couple of these in tandem, so they'll be finished to go together and be finished together. But of course I have to stitch them separately. And one thing that I didn't realize when I pulled these, because I just look at the pic. I'm all about the visuals, so I look at the picture and don't read the details on the inside. As far as like, oh, this is how you stitch it. So these are stitched 1/1. I've never stitched 1/1 before. So imagine my surprise when I pulled this out and got it all ready and then started looking at it and going, holy moly, this is gonna be hard. So it took me a little bit, a couple of complete frogs, but this is how far I got on the first day. Not very well. Keep in mind I had frogged it twice and then finally got it to this. But this is 1 thread over 1. Can you see it? I can't. I can barely see this. This is why I have to wear these, because I actually had to wear my really strong ones, which are 2.5 magnification, to see what I was stitching. And even then I have to stitch them really bright sunlight, because otherwise I can't see. So this is going to take a while, but I thought it was really great because Ruth Sparrow, the designer of Twisted Threads, commented on my Instagram post that she was like really excited, and she actually told me to go to her website because she's got a little tutorial about stitching 1/1, so it was really helpful, which you'll see later how helpful it was. And then on the day of my mom's surgery on Friday was May the 4th, which was Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And I had picked a cross-stitch design that I bought on Etsy, which was Star Wars, which when completed will be for my husband. So, that way he's included. He gets something. Because, it has to be fair. And so this one is 1 color, black on white. How hard is that? So I did this while waiting in the hospital. And actually, considering, I think I got pretty further along than I thought I was going to. But what I decided, because I did the eye, if you notice, the eye is completely filled in, and then the other letters are just outlined. So what I found, especially in the hospital, is I'm going to do all the lettering, outlining it first, and then I can go back and fill it in. So this will make a great piece for me to be like a car rider pickup line piece, or waiting at the dentist's office and stitching, because it's 1 color of thread. I can have my needles preloaded, and all I got to do is pull it out and start filling in. So that's ultimately what this is going to do. I've already told my husband I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish this, because I've got other priority projects, but it will get finished and it will be for him. So that'll be a long-term work in progress. So on Saturday the 5th, I started, it was busy. We had soccer and we came home, and then we waited for my mom to get discharged from the hospital, and then she came home and got settled. We had dinner, and then we kind of had to get her, settled in for the night. So, and because I stayed there, I just took my stitching with me, and I had another 1/1 from Ruth Sparrow and Twisted Threads. So this one is the Americana, and I'm stitching it on the blue fabric. Now this one went much faster than the first one. You can see there. But again, it's because you're counting 1 thread up and 1 thread over rather than 2, you got to be really careful with your spaces. So I did get further along on this than I thought I would, considering I only was able to stitch for like 2.5 hours total on it. And that was in between doing other stuff. So, and then yesterday was the 6th, and that it was Sunday. So I do the Santa Sunday stitch along with Priscilla and Chelsea. So it's Christmas themed, and I'm working on my Farmhouse Christmas series from Little House Needleworks. This is a long-term, oh, there we go. This is a long-term project because I stitch very slow on this one, and I'm making lots of changes. So my sheep are stitched with wool thread. If you notice, I've changed up the trees. I put a fence rail up next to the barn. So I'm pretty happy with how this is going. So I still, on this one block, I still have the cardinal to add and some more snow, and then I can say it's officially a completed block, and then I can move on to my next one. I decided to skip the horsing around from the series for now because I'm only doing 8 blocks rather than the you know, called for is 9. The designer has made 9 complete blocks. My fabric and with my extra border and everything, I had to reconfigure everything. So I'm doing a total of 8, which is 2 across and 4 down. So I'm basically, my goal, honestly, my goal was to have it done for this year. I don't know that that's going to be the case because I'm having difficulty figuring out what, because all of the designs aren't out yet. It's hard for me to envision where the blocks are going to go. People that are doing it all as one, as all 9, they don't have a problem because they're putting them in order. But mine isn't like that because I know that one of the squares is a quilt design, like a quilt block design pattern. And I know on my piece, I want it to go on the bottom, either on the left or the right. I haven't decided which side. And then I don't know what the other patterns are going to be, and I'm kind of trying to lay them out so that it kind of makes sense. I'm being difficult with myself. So if it doesn't get finished this year, which is a great possibility that it won't, then it's a priority to have it finished for next year. So the patterns are all supposed to be out by September. So unless I feverishly, you know, finish it up in like 2 months, which is highly doubtful, I think this is not going to be a finish until 2019, unfortunately. I'm just really picky, and because this really fits into my Christmas decorating, I really want it. It's like I'm a perfectionist. I just want it to be perfect, and so you know, I'm willing to take one for the team, I guess you could say. Wow, I don't know, but I'm gonna take one for the team, and I'm gonna do it the way I want it to be done, and then we'll go from there. So this is going to continue to be worked on as well. I don't have any haul this week. I do have a few things that might be coming next week, or that I'll have to show for next week. I have new projects that'll start this week with Maynia, some other works in progress. So I guess that is it for today. If you like this video and my ramblings, because apparently I'm just about the rambles today. Let me take a drink here because I'm starting to get parched. Shout out to Dunkin' Donuts, Thin Mint. It's the best. Go get yourself some. So if you like this video and you enjoy my ramblings, please like the video below. Please subscribe. If you have any comments, please comment below. It could be anything. It could be, I don't like your glasses, wear a different pair, because I'm not getting the glare. I think it's the way the sun is hitting them from the windows today. If there's anything specifically you want to see, if you want to see like my floss collection, I have fabrics. I can show you pretty fabrics because I have a ton. You know, please, you know, make whatever request you'd like. Follow me on Instagram. Instagram is down below. Come and see me. I try to post at least one picture every day of what I'm working on. It was funny because last week when I took a picture of me stitching and I happened to be watching Flosstube, and I commented that I was watching Jordan and Jamie, and they scrolled through my feed, or I guess my picture came up on their feed, and it startled Jordan. She's like, I didn't expect to see a picture of myself in my feed. So that's always fun, is to get shout outs from different people. So go follow me there, hopefully, and then I'll follow you back, and you know, we can share fun pictures and ideas and that kind of stuff. And in the meantime, I hope you have a great week stitching. You know, enjoy the nice summer weather. The pollen is redonkulous here. My car, we have a white car and it has like a yellow tinge on it, so it needs to go to the car wash, I think, when I go and take it in for service. And I'll be stitching frantically to show you a lot more, and hopefully have a lot more to show you next week when I post another video. So in the meantime, happy stitching, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.